This kid wakes up as the backup quarterback for Alabama, and we're all believing Alabama's going to win this game because, as Bruce Feldman said, and as Chris Fowler said, and as Reese Davis said, those are the three guests we had to preview the game over the last week. Alabama doesn't usually lose a street fight, and they got themselves in a street fight, and they were getting beat up 13-0. And Nick Saban decides to go to some kid who I believe had only, I looked it up when he threw the touchdown pass. He had only like 28,000 followers on his Twitter handle, right?
Oh.
You want to look up what does Tua have right now?
Oh, I was going to say he only had 53 pass attempts this season coming into the game.
And
62,000.
He's got 62,000 now. How about that? And now he's a star. Everybody knows who he is. I will tell you this, okay? And I don't want to gush too much, but I will anyway. I was excited for overtime, even though I know neither of the teams really, wanted to see overtime, where Georgia wanted to just win in regulation and not have it tied up, and Alabama didn't want to have overtime. And Georgia, to their credit, played a hell of a game. But I was excited to see overtime. I didn't want to stop watching that kid play football. There's something about him. Seeing him play above his size and the way that he ran, the ball, Chris, you tell me, it flies out of his hand.
Yeah.
It's like the sound of a bat when you're not watching somebody who's a great baseball prospect. When you're not watching, you just hear the sound of the crack of the bat, and it just sounds different. That's the way it looked to me watching this kid Tua play football.
He made a couple of outstanding throws last night. A huge third down that set up the tying touchdown. And then that game-winning pass. Man, I could watch that over and over again. Just an absolute missile.
And then the touchdown pass that he threw to tie the game hit an unintended target. So he's got like some sort of it factor. And I want to read this to you. Trent Dilfer, who is... as you all know, a Super Bowl champion quarterback and has been in the profession for quite some time, paparazzi, first with my network and then with the ESPN. He's an Elite 11 guy. Now, what would you describe Elite 11 as?
It's kind of the best high school prospects at quarterback throughout the country, and they kind of they do this camp for a little bit, and that kind of sets them up for their college career.
So during the third quarter, he tweets out, because I follow Dilfer on Twitter, and Dilfer's like an Elite 11 ambassador, I guess. He works with all the kids that are Elite 11 candidates. He basically said, hey, this kid too is special. Look up his story. You should all learn it. So I texted him. I'm like, so, what's his story? I want to be well-versed on it by tomorrow. He responded, this is again in the third quarter, late third quarter, about to be fourth quarter.
Okay.
So they're still losing. He wrote back this: Hawaii, selfless, team first, unbelievable family guy. Younger brother is a super stud and Elite 11 MVP, best prospect I've ever had. Best human I've ever been around. Makes the hair on my arms stand up thinking about my experience with him. Pull up his Twitter account and read his stuff. Wise beyond his years. He's the next CFB Tebow. Third quarter, he tweeted that to me.
Wow.
And then Tebow-like things happened.
Yes.
Like the touchdown throw to tie the game, hitting an unintended target. Kurt Warner tweeted that out because I thought, wow, how did he see that kid come across the middle? This is the difference between us mere mortals and Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterbacks who also watch film for a living. Kurt Warner tweeted out right away, not going to say it's never happened to me, but young QB was actually throwing that TD to other wide receiver and Lucky Ridley cut it off. The epitome of sometimes better to be lucky than good. Who does that sound like? Right? And then the football gods set things up for the moment. Like Papa Nastas missing a field goal to bring in overtime that he sets up Tua time by pulling a rock. Like, who else would pull a rock like that sometimes?
Tebow would totally do it.
I'm serious.
I mean, he was spinning. He was pirouetting in the back. A 16-yard loss on the first play of overtime.
But I don't think Tebow makes that throw to win the game.
No. Well, I mean, if it was only a 12-yard throw.
Right. No. That Demaryius Thomas took one to the house to knock the Steelers out.
Tebow's not throwing a 40-yard laser.
Looking off the safety.
Yeah, no.
Like he's done it for 18 years.
Tebow's not making that.
I'm telling you, as you know, I'm a Michigan man through and through. You cut me, I'm maize and blue, which means I look at Alabama and I'm like, how can we get there? How can we get there with those guys? I mean, our defense looks really phenomenal. They lay the wood. They make some plays. Offensively, Alabama, Tua is the only skilled position player, just by sight, that's not 6'3", 230 chiseled.
Yeah, right.
They're all Julio Jones. They're all Julio Jones out there.
Derrick Henry, Bo Scarborough.
Right. So I look at that and I'm thinking, how does my team get there? And so I'm hoping for the regression to help, lessen the gap to make it quicker. I can't wait to watch this kid Tua play football next year. I will watch every single damn Alabama game. He's exciting. When was the last Alabama quarterback you said that about? Ever.
Who is exciting?
Namath? I'm serious.
Yeah, no, maybe. I don't know. They never have that guy.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.